Hey everybody, it's Cyrus Bolooki, the drummer of the band New Found Glory. We are here in Boston, Massachusetts at the House of Blues. This is our From the Screen to Your Stereo to Your Town tour. I think I knew pretty quickly that drums was the thing I wanted to do, like almost when I picked up sticks. But I started by playing piano when I was like 4 years old, and then went to a guitar when I was like 13 because it was the cool thing to do. But I tried to start a band with my friends, and all of us were guitar players. So I decided that I would try the drums, and I picked up a pair of sticks and had a like older brother's friend's kit. And I sat down and I was actually able to play nothing great, but like a basic drum beat. And I felt very empowered. And I think ever since that day, that was it. There have been lots of drummers that have had influences on me, bands as well, bands like Green Day, Trey Cool, even I was like a metal kid growing up, so Metallica, Lars Ulrich, I mean, he's got a great, unique style, Vinnie Paul from Pantera, things like that. But if there's one band that just overall I actually was really influenced by, it was actually a band called Silverchair. And their drummer, they're no longer a band, but their drummer, Ben Gillies, they were a band that they were my age, Australian guys, and they basically wrote music I loved, and I learned how to play the stuff on guitar, bass, drums. I even tried to sing and I couldn't, but yeah, Ben, their drummer, just his style for at least their first big record, Frog Stomp, I really like mimicked a lot of that. I still set up to this day 1 rack tom, 2 floor toms because of him. Describing playing the drums in 3 words would be really fucking fun. You could edit that if you need to.
I'll put a little beat.
I've been playing SJC drums for like 8+ years now. And the reason why I joined the family is pretty much because it's a family. I've known Mike from SJC for way longer than 8 years, like probably closer to 15. He was always at New Found Glory shows, or what really seemed to happen was bands that we played with, whether it was on Warped tours or our own tours, there was always SJC drummers on those shows. So I would see Mike backstage. He was a super cool kid, really into like our band and other bands in our genre. And it was just one of those things where when I felt the time was right, that I needed to find a company that felt like family to me, literally that's what it was, SJC family. So I didn't even like think twice about who to talk to, and I reached out to Mike, and it's been like that ever since. One word to describe the SJC drums: powerful. So my new kit that I got from SJC, I absolutely love. I think I've become known more for, I'm like a sparkle rap guy. SJC can do anything you could ever imagine, even more than you could ever imagine. But I feel like I've always just really stuck to like classics, and I just want the drums to really sound amazing and speak for themselves in that sense. So for this new tour, this new kit I have, it's basically a gold sparkle. It's like throwing homage back to those raps of like the 50s and 60s, your old Slingerlands and Gretsch or whatever, drums. And it really is like a nod to that era. But as far as the sound, it's insane. I love the little details that Mike and the SJC guys threw in, as far as like kick drum hoop being black, but with a little gold sparkle kind of sliver around. And yeah, I mean, the drums just sound amazing. So my first SJC kit, it was actually in the UK, of all places. And of course, I'd known Mike for a long time, and we just had a tour that was gonna start in the UK. Before, I knew I had a US tour coming up later after that, but my first kit was in the UK, and it was really cool. What Mike did was, a long time ago, I had a, it's not baby blue, it was a Seafoam green sparkle drum set from another company. And I think a lot of people kind of knew me for that drum set. That was a famous drum set that I had. So I told Mike I wanted to recreate it. And he's like, look, I don't want to do the same exact thing, so let's do something different. And I was like, all right, well, can we do the same, something like it the same? And he's like, well, why don't we do a Seafoam green stain? And so we did. It was a stain kit, Seafoam green stain. And I think I had just like it wasn't a maple, but it was like a darker kind of mahogany almost stain snare drum to go along with it. And that kit was insane. I mean, I had it in the UK for like well over 6 years, always sounded awesome. People just commented on how great it was. So yeah, I mean, I was blown away from that kit from then. And I actually had a couple snares at that same time that Mike sent me, just one-off snares. Still have both of them. One of them's like an 8x14. I feel like it might have been not a bronze snare or something like that. It was cool. It was like weathered hoops, everything. And then I had a 4x14 snare that I had Mike make. Super cool, like the hoops are triple flange hoops where they have like a zebra stripe around it. Just cool little details, you know, things like that that Mike was showing off kind of what SJC could do. So let's see, has nothing to do with drums. Favorite TV show growing up? Man, that's such a hard thing to pick. I watched a lot of Saved by the Bell. I know, I'm old, whatever. So outside of drums, I'm a family man. I got a wife and 2 kids. Love hanging out with them. It's an amazing gift to have. I have a real estate license. I actually do a lot of that when I'm off the road and even on the road. And I'm a technology guy, so I like my record. I do a lot of recording. I actually do a lot of demoing for our band. We're doing some demoing right now. Some recording here and there, play some drums, and you know, that takes a lot of time. Favorite album of all time? I mean, I feel like it's impossible to really name one album. You know, I'm gonna go with the Black Album by Metallica. And that's only because when I got that album, I was playing guitar at the time, wasn't even playing drums. Playing guitar at the time, tried to learn that entire album on guitar. And then I started playing drums right at the same time. So one of the first like songs I learned how to play was Sad But True. And for me, learning the beginning of Sad But True and like specifically the drum fills that Lars does in the beginning, once I got that down, and I was still in school, so it was on like my desk. But once I got that fill down, I was like, you know what, I should be a drummer, or at least I think I can be a drummer. So right now, we're on tour from the Screen to Your Stereo to Your Town tour. We have a record, pretty much the same name, From the Screen to Your Stereo Part 3 that just came out. A collection of movie covers, Newfound Glory. We've done a whole bunch of these records, so you can go find those and all of our other records on all your different outlets. If you want to know what I'm doing, just go to newfoundglory.com. We're always on tour. We'll be on this tour for a little while. We're gonna get ready to record another record because we never stop. We will go back out on the road, and whether it's the US, UK, Europe, Japan, Australia, you name it, I'll be out there. I'll be rocking those SJC drums, so come out and see them, experience them for yourself, and you'll have a great time, I guarantee it.